Hi, I'm Greg Scala. Carl asked me for some details on my pin router, and since I can't figure out how to post pictures onto the blog, I've decided to just videotape a little bit about the machine and how it's constructed and what it does. So the pin router here is basically a variation on some of the universal binding machines that I've seen, but I made a few modifications on it to make it a little more versatile. Basically it consists of an armature that I welded up here. And it's attached to these two metal brackets, which is then attached to this block of wood here. The block of wood is in turn attached to the body, and the reason I did that was so that the body actually can move up and down a couple of inches and give me a little bit more height adjustment. What I did to the body was I set in some of these T-tracks here, and you can see here there's a little slot in the back of that board. And so when this thing moves up and down, it slides in those slots and it maintains its vertical positioning. There's a couple of T-bolts that index into the T slot here and come out here, and if I just loosen these nuts on both sides, I can move the body up and down, tighten it, and the thing is very solid. Coming around to the other side, I have a pneumatic supply here, which really just comes off my pancake compressor. It goes through a regulator, which frankly isn't really necessary, but I have to disassemble the whole machine to take it off, and so I haven't done that yet. It goes through a two-way switch here, and what this does is it actively pushes air into this piston here in one direction to move it down, and then when I set it into the other position, it pushes air in to move it up, not relying on gravity at any point. I've also, since I shot the video, put in two controllers. This controller here controls the speed with which the router goes down, and this controller here controls the speed with which it goes up. So I can make it go as fast as or slowly as I want to. So that moves it down, and in this position it moves it up. That works quite nicely. I'll move it in the down position to show you the piston here. It's just simply a two-way acting piston, and the body of the piston is mounted onto this back piece here, and through the base plate here at the bottom there's the shaft of the piston coming down here, and it attaches to the plexiglass base at the bottom of the router here. The router is simply bolted directly to the base there. And what I have here are four, they're hard to see because they're brown, but four drawer slides. And they hold the thing in pretty good position so it doesn't rock back and forth like that, or back and forward. It's quite solid, and it moves vertically quite well. The other thing that I can do with this machine here, I'll put it in the up position, is the two little bolts here that hold the piston onto the base plate, right there, can be removed. And when I remove that, basically it disengages the piston from the main body of the router, and it lets this whole thing move freely. The whole router can move freely up and down, and it effectively becomes a universal binding machine. In the bottom of this plate I've put a little round rabbet here, and it allows me to put these collars on. And I haven't used it yet, but I'm going to attach to this collar a little Delrin ring so that will ride on the guitar to allow me to use it as a binding machine. In addition to all of this, I've put these two little handles on the side. They go through this body here and press against the sides of this internal carriage assembly here, so that I can take this thing, put it in any position that I want, this router in any position that I want, and by twisting these two knobs on either side I can lock it in place, and it basically becomes an overhead pin router, locking into any position that I need it to. What it registers off is a 1/4 inch pin that I've got sitting in the router underneath this router table, and all I need to do is turn this and it raises the pin up, and I adjust this bracket here when I attach the router to the table. I adjust it here, I bump it back and forth until the pin is directly below the tip of the router, I lock down these clamps and it holds it in place, and it registers really quite effectively, and the thing is rock solid. So so that's the pin router here. The whole thing took me about 7, maybe 8 hours to build, not including drying time for the paint that I put on it. The pneumatic parts, probably about 80 bucks, all the drawer slides and whatnot. I'm going to say maybe another 50, 60 bucks. That includes the metal, so probably including the router, and this is just a cheapy King router that I put on there because it's going to see very little use, and I think it'll last me for many years with the amount that I'm using it. It cost me about 45 bucks, so I think this whole thing went together for about $250, and just judging by how much time it has saved me cutting the F-holes, I figure I'll recoup that after probably cutting maybe 4, 5, 6 sets of F-holes. Financially. So it's a great tool, it's versatile. I can't wait to see if it works as a universal binding machine. I think it will. I may have to add some springs in here because this assembly is pretty heavy, and I may have to put a spring between that assembly and that assembly so that it doesn't drop down so hard, but we'll see how that goes when I go to use it. Anyway, that's it. I hope that explains everything pretty well, and if there's any questions, don't hesitate to leave a message on the blog, and I'll try and get back to you. Thanks, bye-bye.